babes, and welcome back to Rambles and Makeup with your rambling host DohiSama. Today we're going to be doing a glow-in-the-dark Joohoney Freedom inspired music video look. So grab your makeup, grab your brushes, and meet me in the bathroom because I'm going to be spilling all the tea about Perfect Blue. And woo child, it was rough. Alright guys, so welcome back. Today we are going to do a Joohoney look, and let me just give you the backstory because I feel like I always got to give backstories whenever I'm doing anything so I can like explain myself. That's the thing, it just is. So I try to like prep my stuff out a week in advance, you know, like I always try to make sure I have everything tip-top shape. I have my notes, you know, and if I run behind, typically I'll do my notes like a few hours before I do my makeup look. Same with the makeup look. If I forget to stencil it out or draw it out, typically the beginning of Monday, I'll work on that and then do the content later on in the day. But doing that stresses me out immensely. It just takes me to another place mentally, and then I'm worried about like doing the look last minute and not really liking it. And like even with the notes, trying to do that last minute, it does not always work because I forget to say things, add things, what have you. So I say all of that to say, today I decided it would be my punishment for myself if I don't draw my looks out. I have to freehand it the day of because I don't want to stress myself out no more. You know, like I should have been prepared. I should have been ready. I had a whole week to get it together, you know, or 6 days really, because I keep my Sabbath holy. But yes, so there's no excuses, no reason why I shouldn't have done this look. I knew last week when the look dropped I wanted to do it. I even knew last Monday that I wanted to do it because I almost did that look instead of the one I did last week. So if you are like me and you procrastinate, just get it done and get it over with, because this has been terrifying me all day to think about doing this. And I had to change my schedule and some other garbage that you probably do not care about, which I'm pretty sure I will talk about on my podcast next week. But basically today was a reverse day. So y'all, it is late at night. It is my favorite time of day. If I ramble a lot, I am so sorry, but we are in the zone. So yeah, I'm doing a free-handed Joohoney Freedom look because his video Freedom was just chef's kiss. Like, I love the song. So I was like, yeah, I want to try that. I'm not going to do it exactly like his. I'm going to put my own spin on it. And I don't know what that spin's going to be yet. So we're just going to have a fun day together. Fun night together. You and me. You and me. All right. So let's get into it. The last time we were here on the channel, I brought up the fact that I watched this anime movie. And I wanted to take a stab at reacting to it because I wanted to see how right or wrong I would be about this particular movie. I was dead ass wrong. Just dead wrong. There's like no justifying it. It was just So I went back and watched it. I started watching it on Friday, I believe, and I finished it up last night. And y'all, it was wilder than I imagined. It was off the chain. All right, so I know I told y'all originally my theory for Perfect Blue, how I thought that like she wanted to leave the idol group to become an actress, you know, and she went into the whole like adult film thing and all that jazz, and like she was a serial killer. Well, baby child, the only things I was absolutely right about is all those people did die. They did indeed die, but I had the wrong culprit. I was right about Beady Eyes. I was glad I was right about him because I'm like, my spidey senses was tingling and I knew what I felt. So I was right about him. I was right about like her career because she did leave the idol group, but I didn't even watch I said I thought that I had seen like the ending. I did not. I lied about that completely because when I went back last night, I was like, "Ooh, you lied." It was y'all. It was rough. So, yeah, I felt a little bad that like I had said all these predictions and I was just so sure of myself. But you know what? It's okay because we gonna right this wrong and I'm gonna give y'all the full tea right now. So basically there is this girl, her name is Mima. Mima. First of all, yes, let me go back and say I found out while researching this movie that the person who made it, he actually passed away, and that made my heart really sad. So I wanted to do a shout out to him. And even though like he's not alive, I want to put some flowers on his grave because that movie, chef's kiss. Like, so his name is Satoshi Kon. He was born in Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. He was born on October 12th, 1963, and he died on August 24th, 2010. And that makes me a little like sad and disappointed. First of all, that he died, but secondly, because my brother, his birthday is August 24th, and my birthday is August 22nd. So I'm like, you really just had to do that to a player. But so he also made other movies, one called Paprika, one called Millennium Actress, one called Tokyo Godfather, Paranoia Agent, just to name a few. He had a lot a lot that I saw, and I put Paprika on my list because it looks like it's gonna be something kind of like Perfect Blue. So I put Paprika on the list, and then I put okay, so I added other ones like Paprika and I think it was like Dreamless Time or something like that. I added it to my list and I will be watching those. I don't really know if I'll do a review on them because I kind of just like want to enjoy them. But if you would like to go watch them, I hands down like recommend you do. But I suppose if like enough people want me to review them, I will. But if not, like I'm really just excited to watch it on my own because it just looks like it's gonna be so great. So we are gonna get back into Perfect Blue, and y'all, let me just say what ended up happening to Mima. Like, it was so jacked up. I don't even think flabbergasted like correctly conveys how I felt, but I really just don't know any other word. Appalled feels too small to use, and dumbfounded just, I mean, to me it doesn't explain how serious this moment was for me. So I really don't know what to say about it other than I was absolutely floored and flabbergasted. I was busted and disgusted. I was appalled, but you know, all of those things. I'm gonna have to see if I can find like a good enough dictionary word for that. So, anywho, um, Mima was an idol who was a part of this group called Cham. Now that was correct. So, Cham basically, to me, they were rocking it. I thought that Cham was doing fine, but apparently their sales were low. Their sales were really low. And it was because of that reason, Mima was basically forced out of the group. So like they were trying to push her to be an actress. And Mima had moved to Tokyo to be a singer. So her manager, Rumi, was always trying to defend her like, no, she wants to be a singer. Like, this is what she wants. But so the male manager, his name is Tado Caro. He is basically the one who is pushing Mima to be an idol. I mean, not an idol, an actress. And so Mima is on stage and like she is telling people that pretty much it's gonna be her last day. Now, when it came on, there was already so many men like speculating stuff and trash talking, and I was just like, But so I was right about this too. There was a scene where she's on stage and she is telling them about what's about to happen. And it was these teenagers, they throw this can at what is this old creepy little dude's name? At Mamoru Uchida, and I'm a little bit like right there, almost on the edge, mad about it, because his name kind of reminds me of Madara Uchiha from Naruto, and I'm like, you will not put him next to the Uchihas. I mean, Madara, he was a jerk too, but still, I feel like he has 2 redemption points left working for him. Anywho's, press me off, but this guy is sitting here holding the camera like this, like just zoomed in on Mima and everything about her. And so the kid that starts messing with him, his name, give me a second. His name is Sidoi. He was one of the ones, like, I guess, like the ringleader who initiated it. They were beating up, I mean, not beating up, they threw a can at him. And when he went over there to, like, calm them down, they start beating the mess out of this guy. And it gets calmed down. The police is like, we're going to have to stop the show because y'all are wilding out. And, so Mima's crying and she's like, you know, I'm pleased everybody. Like, I just wanted a great day with all of y'all. Like, I just wanted us to have fun. And so she couldn't even tell people like what was happening. So one of the group members, Yukiko, she was the one who told everybody like Mima's leaving. So when they first panned to like why she was leaving the group, y'all, I was upset. I was big mad. I felt it unfair that they were gonna let the other 2 stay, but Mima had to get kicked out the group. You know, like it was, to me, that was a little wrong. And they were like, well, the money's not even in pop idols anymore. The money is in actresses. And Mima always said she wanted to be an actress, and Rumi is like, yeah, but Mima also wants to be a pop idol. Like, y'all know that's why she came to Japan. And they are not like hearing this woman. And so Rumi is trying to advise Mima about like everything going on with her. And so there's these guys who is writing this script for this movie, and they want Mima to do some questionable things, right? Questionable things. And one of the things is include the rape scene. And so the guy manager is bringing it up to Rumi and Mima. And Rumi is like, absolutely not. She will not be doing nothing that's scandalous. Like, this is Mima. Like, she has all these adoring fans. She's an idol. She is not an actress. And so the guy's like, come on, like, it's not anything bad. It's just a sketchy scene. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit frustrated at this point, because even seeing how the male directors were like responding and joking about like Mima might not be up to the task, or like he was like, oh, I have these drastic ideas, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? No, like seriously, what is wrong with you? Anywho's, so Mima decides she's gonna do it. She's like, no, it's okay, I'm gonna do it. And so when she gets home, she breaks, oh no, we're not there yet. So they start showing her like film this episode, and they're panning into like her life as a actress. So in one scene, so Mima she's acting now, right? And she honestly is trying to like live the best of lives that she knows how to live. And whenever she goes to do the scene, she is smiling through it, like she is just ready for it. And lo and behold, there goes the old creepy dude in the crowd watching her get ready for this scene. And y'all, I'm telling y'all, every time I look at him, I'm just like, stop looking at her with those beady eyes. Like, what are you doing, sir? Anywho's, he's up filming like the rape scene, right? And I was right about that too. Homeboy was like, I'm so sorry about this. And Mima's just like, oh no, it's okay. Like, I understand. I get it. So, they filmed the scene, and they wrap up like filming. And when her directors watch it, Rumi is like taking out a pack of cigarettes. Like she is like inhaling the fume. Y'all, Rumi was so pressed about the situation. I thought that they was gonna have to give her a Valium or something, because Rumi was not having what they were talking about. She was stressed, suppressed. She was beside herself in guilt. I was like, dang, Rumi, you act like you the one up there, you know, having to go through that. But so she films the scene, and then it starts showing her like, you know, getting photographed naked or whatever. And so basically, while all of this is going on, okay, so no, let's go back. So Rumi takes her home, right? And when she gets in her room, she like looks at her fish tank, or like looks around, and she starts tearing up everything. Like she's knocking over stuff. She is just beside herself, angry. And she's like, of course I didn't want to do it, but what choice did I have? You know, I can't let down the people who've gotten me here. And my heart really broke for her. Like, Mima, no, baby. They helped you because they wanted to help you. Like, I'm going to save my lectures for the end of this, because y'all going to get it, okay? Y'all are going to get the lectures, so get ready for it. So Mima out here doing her thing, right? She has now completed a scene, and now she is instead doing like photo shoots. And so while this is happening, good old Cham, however you say it, they are just starting to thrive and survive. Like they are getting more fans. They are getting more like love. They even have their own radio show, y'all. And so, you know, everything is looking up for them. And Mima, she's so sweet. She's so happy for them. But, you know, she starts to think like, that should be me. That should be me. this is so sad. You know, she was having one of those moments. So Cham is out here thriving and surviving. So Mima is she's posing nude for these photos, right? And it's out there in the public, out and about. So then she comes across this place called Mima's Room. And basically what Mima's Room is like, this blog post of the real Mima doing stuff. And she was even like talking about how she filmed that rape scene and how she didn't want to do it and da da da. And so Mima, she brings it up to Rumi, you know, who's her manager and friend. And Rumi is like, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. So Mima is like, wicked. I'm not going to give this attention. So y'all, while this is happening, this movie was triggering because while this was happening, it was showing Mima. So everything that I'm about to explain to you next, this is all happening in the movie within the movie. So don't get confused because everything I'm telling you is happening. It's wild. So Mima is playing the role of this girl. I can't even recall her name, but I think it was like Yoko something. And she's losing her wits end. Basically, after she is raped, like her mind goes off. Like she committed a crime, she killed somebody, I guess the rapist. And like since then, she had taken over like her sister's career. But so really, while all this is going on, the first thing they're talking about is like, you know, the rape scene and stuff like that. And so Mima is going home every single day, and she's a little freaked out because one of the posts she read on the Angel Cafe was saying like what she does on her day-to-day like trip to the store, and she was really triggered because they had it down to a T what she was like. And of course, like that would terrify me as well too. Like I don't think I'd ever leave the house. So Mima is like losing it. She really is. She's losing it, y'all. And she does not even know like what's real and what's not real. So let me back up and put this in there. So like one of her first days recording, the teenager that I was telling y'all about, he ends up dead. He was hit by a hit and run. And who do you know other than Beady Eyes who did it? That's gonna be his nickname because y'all, I can't wait to talk about this small person of a man. So Mima out here, and she is going through her life as if everything happening to her is happening like the movie is talking about. So for one moment, you don't know if like they are actually talking about Mima or they are talking about this character in the movie that Mima is playing. Because I was sitting here like, what are you saying to me right now? So Mima's out here, she's trying to do her best to live this thing called a life. And her one of the screenwriters ends up dead. He went to his car. You know, he was coming from his car, and he basically heard this radio playing, and when he got in the elevator and went up to the top floor, excuse me, he was just gone. Eyes had been stabbed out, bloody elevator, and he just slumped forward. That was it out of Buddy Boy. And when the male Mr. T, when he called Mima, the manager, and was telling her what was going on, he was like, okay, like, stay put. You don't need to do nothing right now. And so she's like, okay, cool. So then after that, she goes and do the photo shoots, right? So the one who got killed at first, he was the one who wrote the script for her and wrote out like everything that she needed to do, including the rape scene. That is important, so remember that. So she goes to work and then she films, or she takes the photos, right? she takes the nude photos. So then, lo and behold, like a week after the first guy is killed, this guy, the one who like seduced her clothes off, yeah, he's dead. Now, I'm gonna jump back to Charm real quick. So one night, so there's another member in Charm, and her name is Rai. I like Rai because she seems to really care about Mima, like her well-being. So one night she was talking to Yukiko about her, saying how, like, you know, she was worried or whatever. And Yukiko was basically like, she's with that male pornographer and he's probably seduced her clothes off. Like, she probably really loves taking her clothes off. Yukiko, what? What? And I mean, Rumi stepped in and she was like, are y'all supposed to be talking about this? Lights out, and slammed the door. But that wasn't enough, Rumi. You did not do it, especially for you to feel the way you do. You did not do enough. Trigger. I would have been like, you want to go? Because you're not going to talk about Mima while she not here. Talk about, she probably loves exposing it. You're just mad because you couldn't expose it, all right? Your charm cells didn't even go up till Mima gave y'all some hostility and left the group anyways. Be grateful. Oh, 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 yep, we got it. Leaving it in there for that high kick alone. So, anywho, so yeah, she's just trash talking Mima, and I'm like, that's why I don't like you. You slimy and you fake. So, anywho's, yeah, these people are getting killed on set. Now, Mima, they are, after the second guy ends up dead, they are essentially accusing Mima of being like the guilty party to do it, which I kind of want to be like, F all of y'all. Like, respectfully, choke on one. Okay, you could go the way that they came, because I feel like they was just trying to give her crap because she was the new girl, and her one of her, the guy manager, Mr. T, was like, don't worry about them, Mima. Like, don't listen to what they gotta say. And I'm sitting here thinking, y'all did this to poor Mima. Like, y'all made her choose this life. And so Mima is just, she trying to get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, she trying to thrive and survive. All that jazz. She out here trying to do it. So let me back up and say, while all of this is going on, Mima is seeing like the idol version of herself wrecking shop. And the first time the idol version of her appeared, Mima was on a bus and she was looking out the window, and the idol her popped up and was like, I absolutely refuse to do it because I am an idol. Right on. Right on. And so Mima is seeing her again and she's like, who are you? You know, she's trying to figure out who this girl is. And she's like, I'm the real Mima. So I feel like this looks so silly, like without the little light that I'm gonna use. And y'all, it is pressing me. Okay. Oh, we gonna keep it though. So, um, they're blaming Mima for the deaths of the people, and Mima, they now. I'm gonna say this. It keeps panning out every day to like Mima waking up in this room. She's waking up in this room, in her room, and she is really questioning like what is going on inside of my little brain. So when the second guy was killed, it pans to Mima like hearing the news because her manager's like, this is when her manager's like, you need to stay put, like, until we figure out what's happening. Absolute side note, if you're wondering like why I have so many colors on my face, my niece chose my colors. So it is what it is. So where do I need to backtrack? We are talking about Mima. So yes, it keeps showing Mima wake up every single day. And so the day that the second guy, the photographer, was killed, she went into her closet because she was like, is this a dream or is this for real? So she went into her closet to like look and see, and y'all, the clothes in her one of this like FCG bag she had, completely bloody. So now Sama now, um baby child Mima is kind of looking guilty. Like, I was like, dang, Mima, like, I know I had said that you did this, but like, dang, Mima. And so Mima is like slowly but surely throughout this whole thing losing herself. She does not really believe what's real, what's not real. She even breaks a glass one time and like she's bleeding, and Rumi's like, Mima, you're bleeding. And Mima is just like, oh, the blood is real. And I'm just like, Mima. So we as the viewers also don't know what's going on. So it pans back out to uh Marmaduke, Beady Eyes, what's his name? Mamaru. It pans back out to him, and he is, first of all, like I said, he then came over here and bought all these photos of Mima that was like, you know, showing her goods and stuff. He didn't want nobody to have them, was even snatching some of them from some dudes. Like, come on, Mima. Not Mima, come on. What's this kid's name? Mamaru. And so he takes all of them home and he has them sprawled out all over his desk, on the floor. He has Mima on his roof. And first of all, it shows that he is indeed the one who keeps updating like the Mima's room post or whatever and pretending to be her. But he also is sitting there and he's like, I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. Like, I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna, be here for you. And so they show a Mima in the corner, the idol Mima, and she's like, I knew I could trust you. Like, you're the only one I could trust with this. Like, my knight in shining armor. And I'm sitting here like, you got it like triple double bad, dude. It's rough for you. And so basically Mima is confiding to Rumi that like she is losing her mind, and it slowly starts to reveal in the movie that she's playing in what's really happening to the lady. So the synopsis of the story Mima is starring in is this girl named Yuko or whatever. She was living basically a double life. Like, she stole her sister's identity and became a model, and she thinks that like she is this idol, but really she's not. Like, she stole her sister's identity, and they're saying she has like dissociative disorder. And so I'm sitting here like, well, is this really happening to Mima though? Like, because that sounds like what Mima's going through. And he keeps doing this thing in the movie where he pans it from like Mima on stage filming to Mima back in her room. But the way he does it is so incredible that it almost mind boggles you, and you don't know if you're watching something real or if you're watching something fake. So yeah, Mima is basically spiraling out of control. And so, like, one of the last things it shows, so Mima was supposed to go see her friends in Cham, but she sees that freaking idol version of herself, like, you know, running out. And so, like, in the building, running in the building. So Mima was like, cool, Wicked, I'm going to follow you and find out who you really are. And it's just like, Mima, really, baby girl? So Mima is chasing this girl. She ends up, first of all, she twisted her ankle. And instead of just letting that be well enough, she gets up and keeps running. She runs all the way until she is in front of this car. And guess who's behind the car, y'all? Marmaduke. So he hits her and she wakes up. She's back in her room. And I'm just sitting here like, what? What is happening? And so Mima is, one day she's talking to Rumi, right? And like, so she's talking to Rumi and she finally finishes up the set. Like, they're done filming. Mima can go home. Like, she's worked hard. It's great. It's really, really great. She did the thing she was supposed to do. She came, she saw, she conquered. Like, she's doing everything that is required of her. So she's walking. The night that they finish, she is walking in the back to leave. She told the two managers she was gonna go and get changed. So the guy manager tells the female, like, you need to take her home because I have a meeting. Now, he was also the director. For him to be so concerned, not the director, but the other manager, for him to be so concerned about her, y'all, he puts her in another raunchy movie with another sketchy scene. He's like, there's a few sketchy scenes, but what can you do? You cannot endorse your client to do it, sir. You can take up for her. You can say, nah, she deserves better than this. Like, you don't have to keep putting this girl in harm's way if she don't want it. Like, you know she's trying to work hard. And I feel like you just kind of pimping her out. Like, that's just what I think. And so, anywho's, Mima is hurt, like her mouth is covered, and it pans out to her being on this stage. So basically Marmaduke over here is like, y'all, he's reading her rights, telling her how she's tarnished the real Mima and how she never even noticed him. And let me just pause here, because this has to be a rant that I make. And listen, you ain't gotta agree with me, all right? But I'm gonna say my piece and then keep it moving. I was so incredibly upset when Marmaduke started talking. I wanted to take my remote and animate myself, like with the AI feature, and put myself into the perfect Blue movie and then beat the mess out of him. You cannot be sitting here telling me everything that's wrong with me and how I done tarnished the name. And your voice is squeaky like a dog toy. I refuse to let you make me feel like a victim or less than. I refuse it. Y'all, when he started talking, I was like, okay, you're not supposed to simp for rapists or nothing like that. Like, but that could have gave him something more than that basic squeaky voice. Ooh, it was triggered. I don't know why that vexes me so much, but in that movie, it did. Because he was like, and I'm like, please, stop the madness. Just stop the madness. So he's telling her, like, you never even noticed me. Don't lie like you know who I am or you give a crap about me. Like, I was never on your mind. And Mima's like, yes, you were. Like, I know who you are. And so then he proceeds to tell her, like, you're not the real Mima. You're just an imposter. You've tarnished her name. Like, the real Mima would never do this. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, if she ain't the real Mima, then what's going on? So despite him trash talking her and reading her for the filth that he claims he was like, you may have had everybody else fool with that little mouth of yours, but not me. And I'm like, how dare you? Because first of all, that innuendo was strong, that little mouth. Like, energy all around that, first of all. Secondly, y'all, he starts trying to rape her. And I am like, you done sat here and called this girl unholy. Like, you done sang the whole opening of Sam Smith to her. And now you want to take from her what you claim, like, she is so pure of. And then, not only that, he was going to rape and kill this lady. Like, I have so many questions. How is it right for you as a spineless human man to decide that she is an imposter? You're just gonna take it from her and like take advantage of her and then kill her to protect the real Mima. What are you doing? Like, why do you think it's okay? What is wrong with you? What is actually wrong with you to think that this is a good choice that you are making? I am pressed because I don't know what he was thinking. I don't really want to know what he was thinking. But you, sir, needed to get together because, So, let me calm down. He is like ripping her shirt off on the same stage where she had the rape scene. That's why I was saying, like, you need to be so careful when you choose your jobs and like what you decide to do, because this movie has taught me that the world is truly not a safe place. And if people will get very bold ideas about you and like really be obsessed with you and wish you harm, like, you never know who you are dealing with. Mima thought that this dude was just a fan and he was out here trying to take her life. I'm still pressed about it. So they start fighting or whatever, and like Mima gets away from him. Cool. No, this girl, she gets caught. And first of all, she runs to like the side wall of the stage and he's like, time for act 2. Y'all, he has a knife and he's like slapping, slicing and dicing, trying to get this girl. And he catches her by her hair and throws her like on this little panel thing that falls back on the stage. And I knew she was alive, like, cause I mean, I saw her off him the first time. But so it still kind of had my heart beating because I'm like, Mima, get your ass up. You like, you gotta get Mima. Me, get up, Mima. So she finds these little, this little hammer and she smacks him in the head with it. Y'all, Marmaduke goes flying. So Marmaduke goes flying and Mima runs and she goes and tells Rumi what happened. So Rumi goes back in there, but when they go back in there, Marmaduke is gone. So I'm like, oh man, like he is about to tear this girl up and not in the good way at all. And so Rumi, so Rumi was like, are you sure you just didn't imagine it? You saw the condition of me when I came off the stage. You saw me tattered and battered, clothes ripped up, bra gone. My panties are gone. There's dirt on me. There's a little bit of blood. I am shaking like a leaf. And you were going to tell me I was in some damn dream? Yeah, I'm telling y'all, the gumption and the nerve of this lady. Like, I assumed no other show or movie would ever rage me like this, but she hit more highs than blood sea with this one, because Rumi was just foul. And okay, so let's go. So they take Mima home, poor baby, and she wakes up in this room, and like when she's on her way home, Rumi says something that throws me for a loop. And I'm like, huh? So Rumi says to her, we're going to Mima's room. So originally, when they were unveiling the plot of the other movie, what I had already started assuming was that they were really saying Mima was like really named something else, and like Mima was a twin sister, and she was basically taking over her twin sister's life, wanting to be an idol. But you know, that's what's happening. Like, she wants Mima's sister wants her to still be an idol, but Mima wants to be an actress. That's where my brain is going with this. So when they get back to her room and she wakes up, she asks Rumi if she's still there. And Rumi's like, yeah. And she's like, it's been so long since I've seen you. And Rumi is like, what are you talking about? I was just here last night. So anyways, she closes her door, Mima does, and she looks around and she's like, this is not my room. And y'all, what happened for her to do? No, she went to look outside her window. And I can't quite recall right now why she was going to look outside her window. But there was a few things in her room that was amiss anyway. So when she was in the room, like, normally it had been showing her room as like kind of light. She had took her charm poster down because she was no longer a part of the group. She had like plastic bags everywhere. But in this room, the charm poster was back up. The room was like a darker color versus what she had originally been in. And when she opened the window, there was train, like a train track going across, or like I guess a subway or a train, sub train, go with me. So that's making me believe, like, what the heck? And so Mima's like, this is not my room. So I'm like, is she having a mental breakdown? Like, is she realizing that, like, I don't know, that she's not really Mima, you know, or like that she's been living a lie? I'm just trying to put 2, 3, 4, and 5 together. And what they gave me, I feel like Michael Jackson. You rocked my world, you know you did. Y'all, bad, bad, bad. So Rumi comes in the room and she's like, Rumi, what are you doing? Y'all, Rumi comes in the room and she looks like Mima. And so she's like, I'm trying on a new costume for stage. It looks great. And so Mima's like, what are you doing? And this pop version of her is like, I'm Mima. And Mima's like, Rumi, what is going on? And Rumi's like, I'm not Rumi. Rumi went home early for the night. I'm Mima. And Mima is like, Rumi, don't say crazy things like that. Just tell me what's going on. Y'all, in comes Mima into the room, and there's this glass mirror where you can see clearly Rumi. There's a hefty version of Mima standing there talking to her about this little skimpy red dress and red outfit and attire, and I am like, you're lying. Rumi, the manager is standing there looking at Mima, telling Mima that she, Rumi, is Mima and not Mima herself. And so, Mima's like, what is happening? You're lying. Rumi lunges at her with the ice pick, stabs her in the shoulder. I'm thinking that's it, she died. No, Mima gets up, she's running out of the building. So as she's running off the balcony and stuff, Rumi is still trying to slice and dice her with this ice pick. So Mima manages to get down off the roof, and she is like hauling her butt out of like the compound so that Rumi can't hurt her. She is screaming for help, y'all. Like, she is screaming her life off. Nobody's listening to her. And I'm like, this is in Japan, right? Like, y'all are heavy populated. How is nobody concerned about this baby child? So, excuse me. Mima gets caught in a dead end. And basically, Rumi is telling her everything. And Rumi's like, you're such a, like a little harlot, you know, like, you've tarnished Mima's name, but I'm gonna restore it because I'm the real Mima, and like, you never knew this, but I was the one running Mima's room. Like, all of it has been me, pretty much. Like, all of this has been me. And so Mima is sitting here flabbergasted. And so she is telling her, like, she was the one who killed everybody. I'm sitting here blaming Marmaduke. Marmaduke ain't had nothing to do with these other deaths. Marmaduke, it has like been keeping tabs on her and like trying to save her on Angel's Room or whatever it's called, but that's all that he is guilty of. And so Rumi is legit like, I had a helper, but he failed a little bit. And I'm like, you did try to kill her with that truck, you chump. And so Mima is like trying to run away from this girl. And essentially, no. Rumi's wig falls off while she is confronting Mima. And like, she goes forward into this glass and like cuts herself just so she can get this wig and put it back on so she would look like Mima. And I'm like, you're lying. So she runs out in front of this truck and she's about to get hit, but Mima pushes her out the way and they both ended up surviving. So like, Mima goes to this little psych ward, right? And she's standing there and she's talking to this, I guess he's like a doctor, and he's telling her like, it's still really sweet of you to come in and, you know, check on her. And he's telling her like, she does good at times and there's not many phases where the Mima persona comes out, but she still has those moments. And he was like, I can't believe you would want to come see her considering all she did to you. And so Mima was basically like, okay, yeah, but if it wasn't for like her craziness, I wouldn't have learned these important lessons in life. Like, kudos to you, Mima, for handling it like a champ. So it shows Rumi, and Rumi is the one in the hospital, and yeah, baby girl is just going off the deep end, and she's still kind of imagining herself as Mima. And so when Mima is going back to her car, there are some nurses and they're like, oh my God, like, is this Mima? And one girl is like, nah, Mima wouldn't be seen in a place like this. And so when Mima gets to her car, she says the lines, no, I'm the real Mima. But the voice was the voice of Rumi's. So now I'm sitting here like, who's Mima? I just want to know who's Mima. Oh, and then they were showing like everybody who got killed. The manager, the male manager, he was dead outside with Mamoru. So, and like there's speculation on who killed who, but I am pretty sure that manager offed the other manager and Mamoru, because Mamoru, first of all, didn't do his job and tried to rape her, tarnish her more. And like the other guy, because he was the one who basically kickstarted this whole thing and she didn't want Mima to be in it in the first place. And come to find out, Rumi used to be an idol herself. So I do think on one hand, she was like very protective of Mima, but still, you can't live nobody's life for them. And if Mima chose to walk this path, then that's Mima's choice to make alone, not yours, not anybody else's. And the fact that like Rumi was sitting here pretending to be this girl while also managing her is just wild. Like, I don't even feel like I have enough words to say about that, because you're wrong. Like, you took advantage of homegirl and you made her think that she was crazy and like something was wrong with her, when all along it was something wrong with you. And like, typically I try to be understanding of people who have, you know, mental illnesses, because we all go through things, you know, and some people just need help. But you can't be out here committing murders and like living a bad life and expecting people to have sympathy for you, because those lives are not yours to take. And even if they did that to Mima, Mima is a grown woman who decided she wanted to throw it back for a real one, and that's her choice. Let baby live her life. But for you to go out here and kill off people, and then to even talk with this stranger about her like you knew he was obsessed with her, you saw how he was drooling over her and watching her, and you gonna put her in harm's way anyway? Y'all, I was really just not a fan of how it all played out, because Rumi, what are you doing, girl? Like, what are you doing? All right, gang. So this is the final look. I promise I'm gonna include some like glow in the dark pictures, because I don't want y'all to be like, what is it? But yes, I will include how it turns under. I have these blue LED lights, and when I saw Joohoney's video, I was like, I can do that. I can do all of that. Maybe not like that. I'll try my own thing, but I can do that. So I'm gonna go do that. But I loved Perfect Blue. It was so much better than I expected it to be, especially because the shock value had me on the edge of my seat. It was 3 a.m. and I was acting like I was in a movie theater, okay? It was such a good movie. I was so confused. I was like, what is happening? I love that I was right about some things and wrong about other things. I want to do it again. I plan on wholeheartedly doing it again with another movie. So if you did enjoy, please kiss me with the like button. Please make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Please comment if you would like any more, like if you have specific movies that you would like me to do a blind review for, that's like animation based or in another language. Let me know. I don't want to do blind reviews for English, because like I'll understand them and I'll know what it's about. So I'm gonna keep that as a thing. I give Perfect Blue a 20 out of 10. Okay, it was rough in some scenes. There are some gore. There are some unexpected things, like I said, but it is really a great movie. I mean, if you've read or listened to this, nothing's unexpected, but you should still watch it. I'm probably gonna watch it again. Like, that's how good it is to me, because Mima, she deserved better, but in the end, she got her victory, so spot on. Life lessons that I'm about to drop on you real quick. Number 1, it is your life. Choose what you want to do with your life. Don't let other people tell you what to do with your life. And whatever choice you make, stand by it, stick by it. With your big girl panties on or big boy undies. Like, own what you did, because it is okay. It is your life at the end of the day. And who's going to tell you how to live your life? It is yours. And if they aren't your parents and they aren't the Lord, forget about it, okay? Accept advice, listen to wise counsel, but ultimately it is your life, you know? That is a lesson I had to learn today. Don't trust people who like seem shady. All right, watch your surroundings at all times. Like, don't be quick to be around people, because it's a sketchy world out here. All right, but I said I was gonna lecture people because that movie threw me for a loop. It really like tickled my mother senses, and I just wanted to hold Mima and beat Marmaduke up and everybody else who was doing her wrong. Please be safe. The world is a scary place, and like, even though it is an animated film, I am 100% sure real stuff like that happens out here all the time. Watch your backs, be safe, own what you do. It is your life. I hope you guys did enjoy this show. Thank you for rocking with me. I knew the rambles was gonna be rambling tonight, but I had fun. Like, I really did enjoy it. So thank you guys so much again and again and again and again, because I feel like I just said that 50 million times. I hope you have a great weekend and an incredible week. And until I see you next Friday, please remember always that the Lord does love you. The Lord will bless you, and He blesses you. May He keep you, and I love you as well. Goodbye, guys.